from Galena, Ohio. It is cold out. It got down to 4 degrees this morning. I woke up 8:30 a.m. with a weird dream, and it was the cold. I dreamt I was standing on Hollywood Boulevard where I used to live, and some crazy illegal Mexican-looking guy was busy setting himself on fire in front of one of the little gift shops or restaurants there at Hollywood, not Vine, Hollywood and wherever all the stuff is, tourist shit. Anyway, I digress already. So this guy his hand is on fire because he's trying to set a fire, and he's waving it around, and I'm standing there watching him. Other people are watching. And eventually, I think he managed to get his jacket off, but his hand is all burned up. And he's going up to people just blabbering crazily and saying, water, agua, agua, agua. I'm dreaming this. It's one of them weird dreams you have just before you wake up. He's yelling, agua. And he's going around, he comes over to me, agua, agua. And I go, fucking water. I said, there's a machine right there, a spigot, right behind that dude's head, that fucker's head. It's one of those self-serve things. Right there in the open, all the shops and stuff are wide open in the front right there in Hollywood. And it's not cold there, okay? So eventually he figures it out, and he goes over and he puts his hand under the thing, runs the ice water on his hand. But then he starts screaming again because he's crazy and illegal. Probably let out of a jail in El Salvador or Venezuela. And he starts coming at me. And I'm just standing there going, hey, dude, you don't want to go there. And he's coming, screaming in my face. And he pulls out a knife. And it's like it's little, the blade's only about that big, but he can kill you with that, okay? And he, it's like a folding knife, and he's fumbling with it. And he starts waving it around. And of course, I'm armed all the time. In fact, I got it in my pocket right now, but I'm not going to wave it around like a crazy person. I got a nice little Ruger LCP, compact, fits in your pocket. Nobody knows you got it. Looks like a wallet, with the case. And I'm like, dude, don't go there. Don't make me, And he's coming at me, and he's right in front of me. And it's kind of one of those end of a dream where you can make yourself do things rather than being completely out of control, where the machine mind, the malevolent force in the world, whatever you want to call it, like a libtard. And I pull the sumbitch out, and I just go pop right in his eye. Blows brains out the back of his head. He goes down, and everybody around me, and I'm in Hollywood, California, where I used to live. Everybody around me is just going, like I'm the bad guy, not this crazy guy that's about to murder me. So I'm like, and I wake up, and a nice big thick mattress, it's like a 1.5 feet thick, great bed, like Napoleon. I love my bed. So I wake up, and I'm thinking, oh, it's a little chilly. Uh-oh. I don't hear the furnace. So I grab my phone, and I check. I've got thermometers that you can check on the interwebs. I got one in the either end of the coach, basically. I used to. One of them went bad. I got one in the end of the coach and one in the freezer, so I can see if my refrigerator freezer shut down. And it says 57 point something, big red numbers in the coach. And I'm like, fuck, because I knew the propane that I got a 100-pound tank and a 30-pound tank and another 30-pound tank. And unlike my neighbors here, they see those giant 250, 300-pound tanks. Or are they 400? Something like that. Like 250. I had one of those the first winter I was here. This is going into the third winter. And last winter, I had it pulled out because they basically cut you off from your propane service because they hardwire it, basically. You hard pipe it into the tank. No gauges. I say, dude, I got gauges here and lines. How about running splitting it off? No, we can't do that. So I said, well, then take it the fuck out. I need to use my propane through the summer. I'm not paying, for a big fucking tank every time we fill it up. So I went out and bought a 100-pound tank, which is in the back here. And I got my 230s. So I put the 100-pound and 30-pound on, and I keep the other 30 as a backup for times just like this. During the summer, it'll last 2.5, 3 weeks. Because the only thing I'm using it for is cooking and maybe heating the water after a shower, that kind of thing. Very little propane. But during the winter, like now, 4 degrees, it went down below zero a few days. It's been cold for weeks. That thing runs full time, that furnace. So usually I can get, during the winter, I can get a couple of weeks out of that 130 pounds of propane. This time it's been bitterly, dangerously, frigidly cold. And I figured maybe a week and a half, I just counting the hours, the days, and hoping don't run out in the middle of the night. Don't run out in the middle of the night when it's below zero and I gotta go out there and have a heart attack trying to get these fuckers unhooked and hooked back up. In fact, I wake up and it's like 8:30 in the morning, so the sun is shining, it's a beautiful day, and I'm like, well, they're, small favors. So I bundle up like Nanook, 2 pair of gloves. I love this fucking hat, man. It is toasty warm. It's very stylish, too. And I got this, Malaysia-made, Chinese-made parka. It is super. I love it, man. It's the nicest parka I've ever had. It's so warm, and you got to get it like a size or two large. That way you can put sweaters on or whatever. But I don't need it. I got a t-shirt on underneath this, and I'll start sweating, if I go into a grocery store or something with this fucking thing. Anyway, so this fucking, obviously the gas, I went to sleep. I fall asleep in the chair all the time, with the TV and the fucking YouTubes and all that stupid shit. So I fall asleep and wake up, and it's like, the wee hours. It's sometimes 1, 2 in the morning. Other times I've slept right through the night sitting in that fucking armchair, and I can't move. And it's 5, 6 in the morning, and I'm like, fuck. And then I try to sleep, and I can't get back to sleep. I could lay down in bed, I can't sleep. I sit in that fucking chair, I'm out like a light, which really sucks because it gets fucking chilly in there. I'm not roaring this goddamn furnace. It's, it stays around 65, a little bit warmer when I'm in there in the living area, because the bedroom will get super hot. It's too hot to, I wake up sweating. But this morning, it's 57 degrees and dropping rapidly in the coach, and it's colder in the bedroom because it's at the wrong end where I've got a fireplace space heater hooked up to one of those charging stations, and that's plugged into the shore power. So if shore power goes out, the space heater as an emergency will keep running for a couple hours on this thing. So the power didn't go out, which is amazing. I had some work done on some of the system, and I think that may have fixed it. Because it used to go out all the time. I used to blow, it's way over there. I used to blow circuit breakers all the time. And they were popping outside, not inside, of course. And I forced them to replace the box because it was a piece of shit. And they kept giving me, oh, long story, even longer. It's this one woman working in the office here at this camp park resort with mud roads, filthy mud roads, no services whatsoever. The water goes down all the time, power goes down all the time, because whoever bought it, they're not maintaining it. Look at, get this, it's $1,000 a month for the spaces out in the overnight camping. But back here, it was $750 a month for the space. And don't count the electric, right? But I was willing to, I could live with that. I got a comfortable rig. You can see it over there. I got a comfortable rig. I've put solar in, which of course, don't get me started on that. This guy's over here working on his shit. Just trying to survive in this kind of cold, if your systems aren't up to snuff, you could have trouble. So I've been fixing mine. So anyway, it all goes back to this one woman who works in the office. I mean, she is a harpy. She is fucking horrible. I don't know who she is, but I think she used to work here before it got bought, and they kept her. She is the nastiest person. The rest of them are great. They're very kind, very nice. They go out of their way to help me, picking up packages and shit. But this bitch, oh my God, she's got to burr up her ass about me, because I don't know. So anyway, longer story longer. I get one of these giant tanks, and I had them take it out after the first winter I was here, the second year, because I wanted access to my propane system. You can't do it with these fucking big tanks sometimes. And so I called her, of course I had to talk to her. I called them this past winter, and I said, can I get a tank hooked back up? She starts giving me shit. I'm like, what the fuck is the problem? Well, you had it taken out. We've got a backup. We've got a waiting. And I'm like, whatever. So I go out and buy a 100-pound tank, and they're not that expensive. I almost bought a big one, but I would have had to transport it, which means putting it on a trailer. And of course, some Mexican stole my trailer a couple years back. And they would have given me shit about that, parking a little garden trailer in front of the thing with the tank sitting on it. But that would have been perfect. But of course, she started giving me shit. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So, and I asked them again, it's like, everybody else had their tanks taken too. A lot of people so they store them right over here where they fill them up. They got a great big giant propane tank that they refill stuff from. I'm like, why is she giving me shit just because she can? And I looked at these guys, I said, hey, what about putting one of these back in, but don't hardwire, don't hard pipe it in so I can access my system and my other tanks. Oh, well, we got a waiting list. And of course they go and they pull this guy's out and put it back in. A few days ago they pulled this guy's out. I don't think they brought it back. I don't know how he's getting by. But they come and go constantly. But they start giving me shit about it, It was the same fucking thing. There was a dead tree, leaning over my cars where they're parked. The whole time I was here, and I said, can you guys come and cut that down? And they go, oh, we've got our schedule. And I'm like, dude, it's about ready to fall. I bet if I push on it, it'll fall. No. She gets all fucking, don't try, we're not allowed to touch that. I said, I said, the trees are all down over back here, you know? If that ain't your property, who's it belong to? The neighbor. How about calling the fucking neighbor? No. So I said, fuck you. And I got some rope, and I threw it up and tied it around the top of this dead tree that's hanging on another tree. Hook it to the back of the Suburban. And I just pulled the fucker down. Boom. You know? And it dropped perfectly, right? You know, it didn't break anything, didn't. So they come out, and I've got them on camera going over and inspecting it. You know, they're looking at it like, oh my God, this guy went ahead and did it himself. They're looking for reasons to kick people out. I'm like, what the fuck? Get a fucking life. You're supposed to be helping people. Oh, and then, boom, they raised the fucking rent here to $905. First, they pulled a fucking Federal Reserve bullshit. Oh, you know, we're in trouble. We're going to have to tack on a $5 fee, you know, for doing our jobs. I said, all right, $7.55. And then suddenly they sent a letter to everybody. Oh, it's going to be $900 from now on, plus the $5. $905 for bad service, for fucked up electric and water, which goes out all the time. Roads that are mud or ice or dust, you know, so everything is filthy. I wash my car. I don't even bother washing my cars anymore until I have to go out and do something, because as soon as you pull them back in, they're covered with dust and mud and shit. So here I am out here at 9. How long have I been talking? 17 minutes. I'm out here at 9:43 in the morning. 8:30 a.m. I came out and I had to switch the propane tanks, and I got to take them over to the office. They won't pick them up. Last year, one guy was picking them up, I thought, why don't I just go into business, go around and pick up people's propane tanks, take them over there, and then these guys will return them. They'll fill them up and return them, but they won't pick them up. I'm like, you know, there's 400 spaces here. This time of the winter, about half of them are full. So there's still 200 people every couple of weeks that need propane. So I got to make a trip all the way over there, and then you got to make sure the tanks are empty. And there's no way of telling if they actually filled them, because they don't give you, they don't have a gauge on the fucker over there. I've seen, if there is, they're not marking it down. So they're probably ripping everybody off, because the tank will not physically full empty, but it should. If it's a 100-pound tank and there's 10 pounds in there, no matter what, because it will not all purge. They're basically ripping you off every time they fill a tank, because there's no record of how much propane they actually put in. Gallons. And they don't weigh the tanks, so there's no way to know how many pounds the tank weighs. These people. This thing is a fucking gold mine. Whoever bought it. Oh, there's the cat. That is a hardy fucking cat. Just travels around hunting. He's out here every day. I think he was living under my rig for a while. Amazon Fresh order, I think just showed up. No, it's showing up at 10 to 1 or something. So I got more stuff showing up. I'm going to hook up. I got 2 more batteries. I'm going to hook up 3 lithium iron phosphate batteries. And I'm fighting with this Renogy, RENOGY, solar company. It's Chinese. They're Chinese, because the English isn't quite right. And I've been exchanging emails with them for weeks, basically. And they've just, their controller is fucked up. It's fucking up. And I'm like, just replace it. Send me in. Say, well, we need to. And I'm like, you know what? You're not going to get a very nice review on Amazon. And if I can't return it because it's part of a kit with solar panels and the wiring, I said the solar panels are already installed on the roof. I'm not pulling those down just because of your crappy equipment and waiting to get a refund and then going and buying somebody else's shit. It's a done deal. The stuff was on sale, like 60% off. So I ordered another manufacturer's controller, much better one. So I'm going to yank that out probably in the next day because the other one should be showing up today. And I'm going to try to install it in this bitter cold because the guy didn't wire it inside where I can get to it where it's warm. He wired it into the storage in the front, which is open to the elements. Didn't do everything. I asked him, I said, do this. And then he charges me over $1,000 labor to do all of this shit. And I'm like, fuck, I'm going broke. So anyway, I'm gonna go over and do this thing. I may go somewhere and get some breakfast. I don't know. These guys walk. I'm not gonna show them. It's some dude, some couple, I guess, and their daughter. They walk from their trailer all the way out to. The kid must take a bus to school or something. It's Saturday. Where are they going? Oh, the other thing is, it's this one woman in this campground. You get a delivery, you get Uber or somebody coming to pick you up or something, and you call over and you say, "Can you buzz them in?" And there's one or two people in the office. Oh yeah, not a problem. Then they come out with this stupid rule, and it's usually this woman, and the one maintenance guy they got, and they're like, "Oh no, you can't have a car come in there. They gotta have a pass." Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, they're not moving in. They're just coming to pick me up, so I don't have to walk clear down past way down there. There's the cat. See, she comes right out of that fucking under that trailer. Those people feed the stray cats and the deer. I like the deer. I don't mind the cats. They keep the rats, critters down. They keep the squirrels and raccoons and possums out from under your trailer. So it all comes down to this one bitter, angry woman in that office. Just mean-spirited. It's like, anyway, it's struggling to stay warm. This coach, that says it's 9 degrees outside. Coach, my Suburban. Although it's I put so much money into this car, both these cars. It's fucking crazy. So anyway, I gotta go drop my tanks. Luckily they bring them back, and then I can hook the 100-pounder back up. Because by itself, that 130-pound tank will probably last maybe 2 or 3 days in this kind of weather. And 130 pounds lasted me 2 weeks, or a week and a half. Week and a half, not 2 weeks. A little over a week and a half. And my phone has basically stopped ringing because the millions of illegals they brought in have taken over the cab companies because they'll work, for pennies. And they've taken over the Uber and Lyft, and they've taken over because they're illegal. They'll do anything. And now hopefully they'll all get sent back, not just the criminals. They should have offered a bounty, man. Every goddamn person like me, I'd be out there fingering these guys. This fucker, he just came in from the prison in fucking Venezuela. Send him back and give me a fraction of what they're giving these people. They were flying these people in. They're not crossing the border. That's bullshit. That's all for show. They were flying these people in on chartered planes, bringing them into military bases. There was one guy online that was showing this, some ex-military dude who knows, he was showing all the Air Force and the charters and everything flying in and out of these bases, coming from Central America and elsewhere. So they're bringing people over all the way from Africa and God knows where else, even China, bringing them all the way to Central America, putting them on a plane, chartered plane, flying them into the United States. They get off the charter. They immediately hand them their paperwork and an envelope full of cash. They're giving them I think it said, I saw somewhere where they were giving these people up to like 30 grand, handing them a fucking debit card. Here's 30 grand. Here's 2 years. They were even admitting it on the YouTubes. 2 years free rent. 2 fucking years free rent in a nice apartment complex, which they then turn around and start shooting up. So they're getting that, and then they were giving them Social Security and all kinds of other benefits. So I got Franklin County, Ohio, trying to cut me off of what little benefits I get after a lifetime of living in this goddamn country, being treated like a second-class citizen while they dilute the society. I don't know if Trump is actually going to be able to change what's going on. You can fire a handful of people, but that doesn't matter. They're just drones, little worker bees. I don't know if he's going to be able to change these monsters in Davos, Switzerland, talking about murdering billions of people to save the planet for themselves. It's not warm. I got that set to over 80. Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But I had a virtual conference. See, nobody watches this. They don't want to hear me talk. They want to hear some lunatic fucking, on the webs, interwebs. They want to be entertained. They don't want to hear the truth. I'm just doing this for my own, mental health, I guess, maybe. I don't have to pay a therapist. I get to talk to whoever listens. Welcome to live chat. And they shadow ban me anyway. The fucking YouTubes. They shadow ban me because they don't like my politics. They don't like that I tell the truth. In fact, I knew it for certain because, I'm not looking for income or anything from it. At one point, I had like 1,500 subscribers because I was tearing a new asshole into Uber and Lyft at the time when I used to do that. So I had people watching all the time. And of course, they both kicked me to the curb, for being a truthful guy. 95% of the Uber drivers don't last a year. They don't need them because they brought in millions of illegals and basically gave, I don't know if Uber gave them cars, but the government, these leftards, gave them billions of dollars, while trying to screw people like me. Couldn't kill me with their weaponized viruses. Couldn't kill me with their death cult treatment when I ended up in the hospital. I'm pretty sure they secretly gave me the jab. I was only there for 5 days, sick as a dog, and they were giving me twice a day painful injections in my belly. And I'm like, I don't have rabies. What the fuck is... They said, oh, this is an anti-clotting medication. So why would I get blood clots? I'm only in bed for 5 days. Oh, that's right. Not just the weaponized virus, but it was revealed that the goddamn mRNA was giving people blood clots and killing them. Giving children myocarditis. Heart attacks. Children. The strongest athletes among us stopped dropping dead on the pitch. Oh, man. So hopefully Trump can actually do something. He's got a mandate. I mean, we the people spoke. Let's face it. So all we can do is keep on keeping on. Yeah, I had a face-to-face and a FaceTime kind of a thing. They used Microsoft. I had to download it on my phone, which, of course, fucked up my phone. I had to have I demanded a review when they tried to cut me off of benefits in Franklin County, because they were looking for every excuse, obvious. You know, there's some DEI hire sitting in her kitchen saying, there's an old white guy, let's cut him off, you know. First they tried to claim, he's making too much money. I ain't shit. And I argued that, and finally found a sympathetic person at the office who said, yeah, this, you're reinstated. I don't know why. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Luke. I'm like, you didn't do it. I know exactly what kind of person did it. You know? And then they started coming at me cutting me off, saying, you didn't file the paperwork. You didn't file, we keep requesting verification, and you didn't file it. I said, yes, I did. I used your shitty website, which is unreal. State of Ohio. They've got something that's like from the 1990s, and it's crap. And you try to upload shit, and it doesn't work, and then it disappears. There's no record of anything. And I'm like, I've responded several times. So I finally you got to appeal to the state of Ohio. You go over their head, you know, with the Social Security and the rest of it. You go over their heads at the Franklin County. So I get on and I demand they said, you can subpoena people. I said, I want the actual individual or individuals who are making these decisions. I want to see them sitting at their kitchen table attacking me because I'm an old white guy who voted Republican. You know, they got record of that too, in Franklin County. So they go after they think we're their enemies. They're not my enemy. I just want them to leave me the fuck alone. So I get on the horn, the guy, and I download it right before the thing happens, because I read the email and it's like, oh, they don't tell you to download the thing. They say, to click here and click there and read this and read that. And I'm like, Jesus. So, luckily I looked at the email just because they came like a week or a month ahead of time. And I said, what? It says, you got to download. I said, I've already got, 2 or 3 other apps that you can do FaceTime shit with. But it's not FaceTime. I said, no, you got to get the Microsoft Office one, blah, blah, blah. So I luckily downloaded it, and I had to sign up and everything right before the call came in. And just as I finished, the call comes in from the guy from the state. Thank God it was a white guy. He may have been a liberal, but he was a white guy working for the state. So he starts, and he's very fair. He's reviewing it, and then this black guy from Franklin County gets on, and I'm kind of like, where's this guy's like he's a supervisor. He's not the one that did this to me. But I didn't press the matter because he didn't have a leg to stand on. I said, it's obvious they've got 1 million stacks of papers on their desk. I said, mine may have fallen behind the desk, deliberately or not. And I said, I did everything they asked of me. And the guy from the state is reviewing it. He's asking this guy from the county, what's the deal? And the guy from the county is looking at it and he goes, yeah, Mr. Lucan responded in November, blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, because they were claiming I didn't, and they tried to cancel me. And the guy's asking him, like, your claim is that he didn't follow your directions and he didn't verify. I said, but you have it right there that he verified. I go, yeah, because their website sucks. The last entry is 2020. That's how up to date their system won't show you the shit that you uploaded. So you have no proof. See, it's fixed. The fix is on. So I saved everything. I screenshots, all this shit. I sent him everything. And the guy's looking at it and he's like, and the guy from the county's like, well, yeah, he responded in November. And he says, well, sir, it's January. You tried to cut him off in December saying he didn't respond. He says, so he responded November 23rd or something. Yeah. And he says, oh, that's all I need to hear. He says, I'll come out with a decision here, because he's got a stack of them on his desk. And I'm kind of like, I bit my tongue. I didn't tear into him and tell him the truth, about DEI and shit, because that's all gone. It's fucking over. And if they keep pushing it, we're going to push back. So, basically, the guy from the county is kind of like, he's got no defense. And I was like, you know what? And he's kind of like, and he starts saying, oh, well, he's actually living in are you living in Galena? I said, I'm on a temporary campground in a trailer that got hit by a tornado, which I did. A bunch of people around here got destroyed. I said, he got hit by a tornado in March of 24, and FEMA didn't show up for 3 months, and now they've denied me any assistance because a branch went through my roof. For 3 months, I didn't know that branch was sticking in the roof and water was just pouring into the walls. So I probably got mold everywhere, which is probably why I'm having trouble breathing. And the guy from the state goes, oh yeah, he says, yeah, I've read about that, where FEMA is. I said, you know exactly what's going on. FEMA has been weaponized. They screwed all these people in North Carolina especially. These people are still living out of tent cities in the bitter cold. And just by the good grace of their neighbors and donations, they're surviving. And I'm kind of like, well, you know what? Government wants to fuck me. Good luck the next 4 years, people. Good fucking luck. So I gotta go get propane. At least I didn't freeze. As soon as I turned that propane on, hooked up the spare tank, and then I hook up an empty 20-pounder so that the valve doesn't leak. Because it's got 2 leads that go to 2 tanks. And there's no gauge or anything on these stupid, these. I tried to replace it at one, it's really expensive to fix crappy shit, that companies that build these things. They're all garbage. They're built like dog shit. What's he doing? Oh, they're good timing. Look at this. They're moving a trailer. Somebody's getting the hell out. Probably don't like having to. That's a nice trailer. Cherokee. A young guy. A lot of these guys say they're itinerant. They move from place to place working. I'm too old. I'm too old to do that. Plus, I don't have the proper towing vehicle. I tried towing, when I first bought it, I tried towing it with the Suburban, and it broke the teeth off the differential, the rear differential. Because, these things are not really, they say you can tow shit. You can't tow a trailer that big. Mine's smaller than these. Anyway, life's an adventure. Stay tuned.